So the topic is opening. It's a nice topic, huh? We can start right now. You don't need to wait for permission, okay? Not from me or from yourself, really. Wow. It's I love the building of getting to know some of you over time, And there's just this love that builds and grows. And I really don't want to hold back from feeling that. What is this life for? Right? What do you want it to be about for you? Primarily, what is your primary um, love? What's your primary motivation? Because we get what we most want for the most part. Have you noticed that people who really, really want money, they tend to get there? If money is your God, I'm not saying that it always works out that way because that would be naive, but it often works that way. So what is your God? What do you most want? What I like about love is like if love is what you most want, like allowance, love, openness, it's all kind of one thing. The divine, even your love for truth is ultimately love. So I say go for something that is so big that you want, right? That you want what's so big and mysterious, even that you can keep growing into it and growing into it and growing into it and discovering, swimming in it. And then if money comes, great. Health comes, health goes. But why not go for something that is the primary ingredient of the universe? And that's what we open to, when we open, we're opening up ourselves to feeling and sensing and to this primary ingredient, the essence of what you are. And within that, things come and go. So within openness, everything is coming and going. Our lives come and go. Right? Everything in time that's born in time and fades in time comes and goes. In this openness, you were the openness before you took form, and you're the openness throughout, right now, and you're the openness. We return. And we return now, right now. You don't have to wait. Give yourself over to this openness. Let your breath come and go in this openness. Your love, whatever feels closed, it's coming and going in this openness. Whatever you're seeing. I don't know how we can miss this. How can any of us miss this? Maybe you don't miss it. What are we protecting ourselves from? Being swallowed up? The big divine mother who's going to eat you? Yeah, she is. She's going to eat you and digest you. So just surrender, let go. I mean, whatever tradition you come from, whatever lineage, right? Background, story you have about it, whether it's the Christ, on the cross, the Divine Mother, going back to nothingness, emptiness. All of it is really where we get engulfed and superseded by something greater, right? We don't come out. We don't come out with our little small self in relationship to the whole. There is ultimately, in the end, no relationship. That's a stage. And it's a sweet stage. It can be really sweet and beautiful, and the beloved, feeling into the beloved, and all the beautiful poetry that comes out of, all the ecstatic poetry, and devotional prayers and chanting, and such a love affair. But it's still self and other, right? And that's okay. I'm not trying to diminish the self and other. But what's really happening? It's just one thing, right? So all these parts, are arising. There are all these parts, you and I, and our own personal psyche, our relationship to ourself, our relationship to our spiritual journey. We're in relationship to our own journey, right? For the most part. We reflect on it. Yeah. We check in and see where we're at. It's a relationship with yourself. It's the primary relationship. For the rest of your life is your relationship with yourself. What kind of relationship do you have? Are you in a good relationship? Do you like yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you find yourself funny? A little strange sometimes? A little weird. Do you laugh at your own jokes like I do? My daughter always gets such a kick at how I laugh at myself. She's like, "It's not funny. What you just said is not funny." I'm like, it's just so entertained. You're the primary person you're walking around with, right? All this self dialogue and what you're imagining other people are thinking about you or whatever has nothing to do with them. It's all about you, right? That's your self dialogue. Is it friendly? What is it? Einstein said it's a, that that it's the most important question. You know, there's so many important questions, but is it a friendly universe or not? And really, we can take that down to our own psyche and our own self connection and relationship. Is this a friendly universe going on here? Right? So make peace, get acquainted, fall in love with yourself, and open yourself to the negative voice inside and welcome it. Bring understanding to it. Just understanding goes a long way. This is conditioning that's arising. So opening yourself, it starts with you. You have to be open to yourself. What is your relationship to your own unacceptance? And that's ending the war within. You're never going to be perfected inside enough to be like, okay, now I've got it together. And I can love myself now because I'm not reacting. I don't have any self doubt. I don't ever have judgments. Good luck. Yeah? Good luck. I say, accept yourself as you are now, open to yourself as you are, and say, yes, 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 yes. This too, this too. My little children, my little confused children. And if there's some tweaking there, tweaking, the word tweaking, if there's some tweaking that wants to be done, like adjustment, like, oh, even though I accept this and welcome it, it doesn't feel quite right. It's not as loving as I want to be to myself or to another. Right? That's the tweaking. We're empowered. We can do that, right? And how do we do that? We open to it by first you welcome it. Go, I see it. I recognize it. I'm opening to it. It doesn't feel quite right, right? We let ourselves feel the impact of if something feels off inside. We're not being as kind as we can be to ourselves or to another. And we feel the ouch, right? That's love. And then you pick up that part, bring it back home. It's like, I understand. I don't know why exactly this is here, or maybe we do know, but it hurts, and it has it, behind any negative thought, self doubt or self loathing thought or confused thought is a part that wants to come home, confused, feels separate, right? It feels separate. And it acts out. Parts of us, we're part of the whole, but little parts, they act out when they feel separate. Anything that doesn't feel separate doesn't act out. It's just, it feels one with the whole. What's it to act out to, right? So if there's acting out happening, you know in yourself and you know in another that there's pain there. So rather than judging that person or yourself for that unconscious acting out, go, oh my God, the only way that someone or ourselves would be unkind in any way or say something sharp or whatever, it's just something unconscious. It's not known yet. And all of us have parts that are already like swimming in wholeness and parts that are still lost and either unknown to itself or already coming to the light and finding its way. Does that make sense? So, can we open to all of it? Not feel divided up by the fact that we're still in the works. Can we open to it all? Yeah, there's parts of me that are still in the works. There's parts of me that are in wholeness, but the being open part, that's our eternal nature. That's like the sun that never stops shining. Can some of you feel that right now? The being open and feeling all these little parts. Yeah, it's kind of tender and it can be kind of vulnerable. But it's a very alive feeling. Can't deny that, right? That you feel alive when you tune in. More and more and more and more here. More and more and more available. More just open. And instead of reacting, responding to life. Have you all felt the difference between reacting and responding? Yeah, it's a big difference, huh? Just feel into that for a moment. Responding is open, available, resting in the unknown. Responding from moment to moment is resting in the unknown. Reacting is, it has tension involved in it. It's tight. It's fearful. It's going along a conditioned pattern. And it ultimately is trying to stop something. It's not open and allowing and seeing what's next. It wants to stop something. It has to do with wanting to remain in control. Not want to be hurt. Right? It's fear. And can we open to that? Can we open to when that comes up inside of ourselves or in another? Can we not react in return to someone's reaction? And just go back, everyone go to sleep together. Just bring up Trump. I don't know, maybe there's a Trump lover here. Just bring up Trump and see what happens. Oh my God, is he a great button pusher? Can we open to being our buttons pushed? It's like, press here. Yeah. Wouldn't it be a wild world if we're like, thank you for pushing my buttons. Giving me an opportunity to learn how to not push back. But most of us are too overwhelmed to want to have more, right? Life is complicated enough. So in the midst of your life, however complicated or open, easy it is in the moment, there's, in a way, in a real deep way, there's never going to be a better moment. So what are you waiting for? What are we waiting for? Have you noticed how sometimes we do this? I've done it. Waiting for a better moment. I really saw it, this habit of mine, to be in time, right? To be run by time. A little bit out of sync with the moment. Out of sync. And then wanting to have a better moment, Really what I wanted was to be in sync with the moment. I think that's all. Wanting a better moment is just wanting to be here, right? Like just put me here. Stop me from running away from now. Set me down and So when my father was dying, and I was with him, it was like a 3-day kind of long, very presence process, And I found myself at times going, just die. I mean, I didn't really want him to die, but it was just so intense. It was so intense to be so present moment to moment to moment. And it was making me feel my running from the moment. I was like faced with me being in time rather being with him in the timeless. And I had practiced being in the now, but it was still there was still this momentum of going. Does that make sense? Anybody resonate? And it was it was so revelatory because it hurt my heart so much that kind of jarred me. Like, I don't want to speed up my father's death. That's really not what I want. I can be unconscious to that in the rest of my life, but here now, or present to my child who needs me, any of these real deep moments, right? We're like waiting for the next moment. It's just this, it's the habit, it's the me in time, um, constantly recreating itself, birthing itself, keeping itself going, right? When you remove time, where's the me, right? Where's the me? Doesn't survive. Me is time. So that kind of like jumping out of your skin kind of feeling you can get sometimes when you're trying to stop and be present. There's a little bit of like a mixed kind of thing happening. I want, but I don't want. Yeah. Going back to the mind is putting it back in time. Right? The heart, the heart is not in time. So if you come back to the heart and open to love, to what you're feeling, the body is a better place to be than the mind when you're not feeling yourself connected. Sense into your body. Come into your senses. It's much more organic. So if you feel yourself being lost in your mind, put the attention back into the body and what you're feeling and sensing, mainly sensing. Because feeling can still have a little story around it. But just go straight to sensation. All these little things going on, just go into sensation. We're just these firing neurons. And let your heart, be an invitation. God, it's right there. See if you can feel it right now. Together. And there are really no boundaries to the heart, or they don't exist, but we create them and just soften whatever you think is there. Whatever boundaries you think are there, it's just imagination. You don't need to believe your mind. What do you want to believe, your mind or your heart? Just choose right now. Make a conscious decision. I choose heart. That's true for you. I choose heart. I don't know how, why. Just I choose heart. All the rights and wrongs, they arise. They arise in this openness that you are. Mind arises in the openness. And the heart is just a great gateway to the openness. It's naturally open. So might as well rest in the heart. Find your home there. Snuggle up into the heart. That's a new song, Tim. Snuggle up to the heart. No, really, everything can find refuge. That's probably more poetic. Find refuge in the heart. You can't find refuge in the mind. You just never, ever, ever. Let the mind find refuge in the heart. Yeah, be a lot happier. It really wants to just be in, the mind. It's like, please let me go. I just wanna not be boss. Can I please not be boss? Can something else take charge? I'm exhausted. Little petty tyrant. It's a petty tyrant because that's not its real job. Have you noticed that petty tyrants, they come out of being out of their league? Way out of their league. I want my way. To just acknowledge it. The mind is way out of its league. Doesn't that feel kind of good? It's not like it's wrong or bad or awful or whatever. It's just out of its league. Why do we keep going there to try to find solutions and answers and to solve the problems of our lives? It can do certain things, right? It really wants to surrender to something greater, something that has vaster intelligence, actually. And there is vast mind, you know, conceptual mind, mind and time, all that. It's just one aspect of mind. There is infinite mind, one mind. Can surrender to that too. It is like empty space, infinitely intelligent, and doesn't have any particular preference. Doesn't have a point of view. In the end, it's all one thing. Open heart, open mind, open um, awareness, and body intelligence. These are just centers of intelligences that show up a little differently in the in our lives. They have different lens through which consciousness shines. It's just that heart is so easy to access if we give it allowance. You know, but for many, it's a wonderful way to rest from the what divides us. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, good. For me to stop, sweetie. Yeah.